work now. Yeah, that's working. Yo! Got another video for you today. And this time it's Fallout 76 again. Nearly said 4. I don't know why I always say that. Fallout 76 again on the Optiplex. The Optiplex has had a few upgrades this time. We're now running an i7 4770K, which, because I can't overclock it, will be exactly the same as a 4790 non-K. And so struggling to talk and play. I'm still trying to do the same mission, but I've got a bit further. I've got the GTX 1070 again, but this time I've done a fair bit of benchmarking with it, and I've got it overclocked pretty much as high as you want to push it and still be stable. So that makes quite a bit of difference. You can see the frame rate is generally a lot smoother and better than it was before. Obviously the i7 made quite a bit of difference with it, but overclocking the card has made a hell of a difference as well. Yeah, and we've got 16 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to the 8 gigabytes it had with the i5 on the previous video. So I'm just sort of trying to demo what it's like. What might be better would be if I went to the fairground. Hang on, how do you get to... That's it, fast travel. Yeah, because there's quite a lot going on there, so you will get some frame drops. We're still on low settings, just purely because it's still dropping some frames. So I'm not going to crank the settings up at all, because that will definitely make a difference. Thought I'd gone to the fairground. Let's have. Alright, maybe I've got to go somewhere else. Here we go. What else I've noticed, with some of my newer CPUs, I tend to get better gameplay if I turn the hyper-threading off. But with these Haswells, this is the first hyper-threaded Haswell I've had. I would say that this definitely benefits from having hyper-threading. So I was wrong about that before when oh, hang on, I thought I was dead then for a second. Oh, well, hang on, give up. See if I can go in again, do a bit more. You can tell I'm not very good at this game yet. Yeah, definitely want the hyper-threading on the Haswell. Power draw wise, I've been having a look at that. It roughly uses about 30 watts extra to what it did with the i5, so that's running around about 170 watts at the moment, power draw, as I'm looking at it. Tick over's about 60, this is with it all overclocked. And maximum power draw 230 when I was running Firestrike benchmark. But the i5 was a definite bottleneck. I don't think the PCI Express 2 makes any difference. That's because he's injuring me. I can't do nothing. I was still in that. Is he going to die then or what? Yeah, so I mean overall, I would say this is about as good as you're going to get with an Optiplex with a 4th gen. I can't see that there's any point buying GTX 1070 Ti's or 1080s, because I think the CPU will become a definite bottleneck. When I was benchmarking it, I still had a little bit of headroom on how far I could push the clocks, and not a lot, to be honest, but I would say that a more powerful card, if you was overclocking it, would be that would actually be a bottleneck. So I'd say the GTX 1070 is probably the ideal card to pair with a 4th gen Haswell Optiplex, and I would say it's also definitely worth getting the ones with the faster base clock and everything. I haven't had any issues with overheating or throttling or anything like that. The only thing that I've done, I've put good quality thermal paste on, G-Lid Extreme, which before Thermal Grizzly and that was pretty much regarded as the best one, and I did lap the cooler a little bit as well, because you could see it just wasn't flat all the way along, so I just flattened that out a little bit, and other than that I've not done anything else to it. Total cost of the build is now £325. I'm going to spend I've just spent another £25 on a little sheet of Perspex and some LEDs just to do the aesthetics, and that's it really. That'll be the end of the project, and probably the end of me messing around with Optiplexes for a while until the later gens are cheap. So hope this helps anyone who's thinking about building a cheap gaming PC and playing Fallout 76. Bye bye.